You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Next month, the original looter shooter is back. Here to tell us what fans have to look forward to in Borderlands 4 is founder and president of Gearbox Software, Randy Pitchford. What's up, Randy?
Hey, we're at Gamescom. That's what's up.
That is it. Gamescom is what is up. Randy, Borderlands is almost here.
I know.
It's almost here.
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
I bet. Now, I do have to put the screws to you for a little bit. 30 billion guns, that was all you guys could do this time around? Take it a little easy, right?
It's not about a number. Yeah. No, it's weird. You know, we've been making these Borderlands games. Some of the guys on the team and I have been working on Borderlands for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Starting to get pretty good at it. But we've got these systems that we've evolved, you know, that let us procedurally generate the weapons. And so we're not shooting for a particular number, but in this go around with the guns, we came up with this pretty fun idea that we call licensed parts. So some of the manufacturers in this capitalist Borderlands world will license their technology to the other manufacturers. So you can get TDR weapons that can have guns with legs, or Malio-1 weapons that have elemental effects, and those abilities can be licensed to the other manufacturers. So you might get, say, an Atlas weapon that's got all these other functions from the other man. It's really, really cool, and it leads to just more combinations, more possibilities for gameplay.
More time to grind and get that perfect weapon.
Well, that's the thing, right? Everyone's got for their build the perfect piece of loot they're after.
Yeah. So, like we're talking about weapons, Borderlands is known for its guns. We've had guns that talk, we've had guns that walk, we've had guns that shoot poop, that shoot food. What's one of the really cool things we're getting in Borderlands 4?
You want the weird stuff?
Yeah, what's the weird? Let's go weird.
Fish grenades? I don't
Are those fish that are grenades, or the grenades blow up into fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Either one. Oh, crazy stuff. But you know, one of the things that I love is speaking of grenades, we kind of recaptured the grenade button, and we now call that Ordinance. So not only can you slot grenades in there, you can slot all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Massive miniguns and big rocket launchers, even like throwing knives, all kinds of weird stuff that you've never seen, weapons you've never seen in a Borderlands game before are now part of that, and they kind of work almost like a new action skill in addition to your hero character's action skills, which of course, you know, there's a ton of those too, so lots of combinations.
No, it's very cool. Like, I really love the idea that we're going to be able to really change our playstyle based on what ordinance we have set in that slot.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like, depending on what you slot into it, like some people use it for things that can kind of get them out of a situation. I like to use it for things that are just, you know, they're on cooldown, but when I press it, it's, you know, because I love feeling powerful. I just want to feel like a badass when I play Borderlands.
Go big or go home.
Right.
Speaking of badass, our badass rank's going to be returning in this round?
We got something along those lines.
Okay.
It's, you know, we always push boundaries and we always try things. I think what we've got is an upgrade from that. But yeah, you know, with every Borderlands game, we've always teetered with different types of innovation. One of the cool things about having this be the fourth game is we have now all kinds of places where we've kind of, that game we went too far here, or we went, you know, and now we kind of know where the bullseyes are.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've really kind of honed in on the best of the best. But some of the systems we love we'll iterate, improve on, and tweak a little bit. And Badass Rank's one of those systems.
Nice. Now, we've seen a few of our Vault Hunters in action. We've seen Vex, Rafa, and Amon. But we haven't seen Harlowe. When's Harlowe getting her time to shine with all her background
stuff? You know what's funny about Harlowe is I'm like, right now I think she's my favorite Vault Hunter. So maybe we've been holding out, saving her for the end. But she's really, really awesome. I've been playing Harlowe a lot lately. You know what's funny is when we started with Harlowe, I think when we did our first introduction of all the 4 Vault Hunters, they all have different cosmetics and different kinds of heads and skins, and there was a really nerdy head that was on her for that first appearance. And then I started playing her a lot. I'm like, dude, I'm a nerd. I don't want to have the nerd. I don't want to I want to play like the badass. So we kind of switched to one of the other heads and gave her these really cool glasses and messed with, like, her look now is just fire. I love it. But she has awesome crowd control abilities, which chain together in really unique ways depending on how you build your skills out. So I've been having a lot of fun with her. It's weird because I was certain, you know, earlier in development when I was spending most of my time with Vex that was going to be my character, but now I'm pretty sure it's going to be Harlowe.
I've been a Siren main every single Borderlands game, and I was like, but Harlowe looks so cool.
If you like phase locking and that kind of crowd control gameplay, you're probably going to be a Harlo player.
Okay.
Yeah.
We actually have some Harlo gameplay up right now. So yeah, like, can you like just kind of talk about some of the things what we're seeing the footage of this Harlo doing?
Oh yeah, so well right now we're actually in a run up to a boss fight, which is a pretty gnarly fight. You can see a couple of, let's see, it looks like she's actually got, oh, I don't have my glasses on. I can't quite see what it looks like. There might be a throwing knife in the ordnance slot, but I don't have my glasses on, so forgive me if I'm.
No worries. But it is a throwing knife, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if whoever's playing does the action skill. This is the run up to a really awesome wicked boss fight. Oh look, there's, oh okay, so she's using the power ball. It's stunned him. There's also versions that can lock. Ones that bounce around. There's lots of different ways that she can use these gravity balls. Her class is a Gravitar, and she uses science. She doesn't need magic that sirens use. She uses science and her inventions to have different effects on the battlefield. So with this particular build, you're going to see a lot of not just. It's kind of a combination between suppression and damage dealing with the way this version of the gravity balls are being used. My favorite are just pure locking and crowd control. Suspensions, I like holding enemies in the air for me. I like some of the moves can automatically bounce the gravity balls from enemy to enemy. And you notice in this one too, it'll time dilate. Like let's see if it's on cooldown right now. We got another 30 seconds, but it can surround an enemy and slow them down to almost nothing. And it also slows down bullets, which is kind of cool too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is looking just like my kind of character, so I can't wait to get hands on with Harlo. Now, back in pre-sequel, there was a lot of like multiplayer interaction that you could have with the other Vault Hunters. Are we going to see any of that kind of? I know you talked about tweaking stuff and going back things.
One of the boldest, scariest decisions I made when we were working on Borderlands 3 was to insist that we render all of our cutscenes in the engine in real time. Before that, even in pre-sequel, all of our cutscenes were pre-rendered and they just played as videos. When we made the decision, we weren't sure if we were going to pull it off. I said, we're going to do it. If we can, we're going to ship with it. But we're definitely going to try. But because we weren't sure if we could ship with it, we made the decisions to not include the Vault Hunters in the cutscenes. Because if you don't see your character, it's kind of weird. You know? I'm glad we made that decision, though, because we did pull it off. We did successfully get to the point where we can now render everything in real time. So now in Borderlands 4, all of the Vault Hunter, whatever Vault Hunter you're playing, is in the cutscene, which gives us the ability to integrate the Vault Hunters themselves, the player characters, in more of the story. They all have unique dialogue. They all have unique characterizations and interactions, not just with the NPCs, but even with each other if you're playing in co-op. And we've pushed that part of the simulation farther than we've ever pushed it before. And it's kind of fun, too, because as you know, with the customizations, there's all kinds of weird costumes and outfits people can wear. Those show up in the cutscenes too, so
Amazing.
Go crazy if you want to break the game and have some really funny interactions. It's absolutely possible.
I plan on breaking the game as much as possible.
It's part of the fun of Borderlands to break the game.
It really is. Now, Borderlands no stranger to having tons of missions. How many missions are we looking at in Borderlands 4?
Well, I will tell you that there's a very, very healthy main campaign. I'm not going to tell you the exact number of missions, but all of the things that are like critical path that are necessary for the main storyline, it's about the length of what you would expect if you've played past Borderlands games. But with the side quests and the side missions, we have not just doubled down, but tripled down. There's like a multitude more than we've ever done before. So many, and you could do them or not. They're all totally optional. Some of them are just quick little, almost instantaneous little fun side things. Others are full drawn out adventures, the length of some of our DLCs, all for just a side quest outside of the main story beat. So there's a lot to do. And that's because it's the biggest game we've ever made. We made this seamless world. You know, finally technology has caught up to our ambitions. You could tell when you play even early Borderlands games that we've always wanted a wide open world, but we haven't been able to do it. We've always had to, narrow things out and make a little junction point with a cutscene or with a loading time, mostly with loading times, which sucks because you're waiting to play the game. You're waiting for the technology to catch up. In Borderlands 4, the hardware and the software we've developed and our use of Unreal Engine has caught up to our ambition. So now it's a wide, seamless world. And with that, we populate it. So in addition to main storylines and side quests, there's all kinds of other activities that are dynamic and just sort of happen, and little things to do that you could discover and immerse yourself in as you explore the Borderlands.
So yeah, no, like the vision is always like, it's always seemed like it's wanted to go push further and further, and you guys have been doing each iteration.
Thanks. Yeah, we try. We are, and sometimes we push too far, but I think that's part of, we're artists, and it's part of what goes with it.
Art, it evokes emotion and such. And
you can feel. You could feel the Gearbox team. You could feel us in our games. We're all in there, and for better or for worse. But we definitely commit ourselves to it. And I'm hoping. I know for me, as someone who loves entertainment, in a world where like everything's getting more and more digital and things can be AI generated, that I actually appreciate more when I could feel the human craftsmanship, the handmade work, and I don't know, it feels really good. And when I have so many people on the team, like for me, one of the reasons why I love to play solo a lot, and co-op's fun, but I want, like, there's beauty just under a rock with an artist that's painted the little doodles.
Just getting that chance to kind of explore it yourself. Yeah. Now, speaking of like evoking emotion and such like that, the $80 comment around games. I got to ask you about it. Do you worry that approach is going to be detrimental to the potential success of Borderlands?
What approach?
The $80, like the conversation around the $80 game gamers will find
I think that whole thing is a byproduct of something I'm kind of just, I think is important, which is, I am on Twitter and I'm accessible. And anyone could, I'm at Duval Magic on Twitter, and anyone in the world could message me, and I reply, and I use the platform for what it's worth. Now, it was really interesting, right? Because, there's a conversation that happens, which, let's be honest, the sum of all social media talk and the sum of every article written about that doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't. At the end of the day, as all of us do, when we approach entertainment, we think about what it is that we want and what it is they're asking of us. And if we want something and it feels like a fair price or whatever the barrier is, then we explore it and we engage in it. And if it doesn't feel fair, we step away. Yeah. And both Gearbox and Take-Two and 2K have always had the attitude of, we want to make sure in every case that whenever we're making entertainment with people, and whatever it costs, that whoever's getting it feels like they got the better end of the deal, that the value that they're getting for whatever they're spending is better. And I think we've always lived up to that.
I agree. Now, I think you guys have really done that with like your DLCs and extra expansions in previous Borderlands. Like I've always felt like I've gotten the value in the hours I've put into those.
Thank you. So. And I do know something about the game. I've been working on Borderlands 4 for 6 years. So. It's amazing value. The truth is, when we designed the model and when we built everything, like it all makes sense. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And the price isn't up to me anyway. I was just engaging in a conversation that was happening
for sure
on the internet.
And that's been a conversation that's been happening.
And it's an interesting conversation.
It is.
For any given product, the conversation doesn't matter. I'm really, as an artist, I'm thrilled that my partners, that Take-Two and 2K decided to sell Borderlands for the same price that we sold Borderlands 3 for, not raise the price with some other games, because I want everybody to play it. I want as many people as possible to play it. And there might be a little bit of friction there for some people as prices go up. But I also know that from a value perspective, they probably could have charged 5 times as much and it would have felt worth it. And some people might have been willing to pay that. I don't know if I would have, but
it's the maker of it. Not sure.
I want it to be as cheap as possible.
Hey,
though.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, thank you so much. Borderlands 4 hits PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on September 12th, and it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on October 3rd. But right now, there's more Gamescom Studio right here on IGN.